May I now take this opportunity to request the Chief Guest, Dr. V.K. Saraswath, Member NITI Aayog, Government of India, to deliver the address.
I would like to congratulate JNTU for completing glorious 50 years. 50 years of glorious existence. 1972 was the year when I came after completing my post-graduation from Bangalore to Hyderabad. 1972 is the time when JNTU was formed. Such a coincidence. I have seen the institution growing, but we always used to look up to Usmania in those days, because one of the oldest institutions. And from DRDO, whenever we used to interact on any technical problems, the first choice of call was basically at Usmania University, because there were no IIT Hyderabad, there was nothing. But the way institution has grown today, I have been privy to its growth. It has changed the face of engineering education in the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh and today in Telangana. How it used to be in the government sector and how it can be is a shining example of what can be done by innovative thinking, arduous sincerity and work, and bringing education at the forefront for creating excellence. That's why I always call now JNTU is one of the very good technical education institution in the country. I give the example of this to many other states because as a member of NITI Aayog, we have the mandate to interact with the various states, and every state, whether I go to UP or MP or other Bihar or Chhattisgarh, most of the places I say that look at the way JNTU has been able to change the face of engineering education. I think you should take that leap from there. Professor Narasimha Reddy said that it's the conclusion of 50 years. I have a different call on that. My call is whenever you say 50 years concluded, I call it a day for starting a new phase of life. A new phase of life can be started only when you look at what you did in the last 50 years. And that is what I think Professor Chandrasekhar, Professor Murthy, and even Dr. Mohan Reddy, all of them have been highlighted. If you look at our own journey as a nation, post-independence, because I am a creed of post-independence, 1949. While I hear the stories of prior to independence, what Indian science was, but I certainly have been a privy to for at least for 65 years of Indian science because now I'm 73, maybe 8 years on, I know what was happening in the country. I have seen our society transforming. From what I read in the nature, we used to be a hunter-gatherer society, then we became agriculture society. So when I woke up in 1949, I also found that India was by and large a agriculture society. And I have seen Indian society transforming from agriculture to an industrial society with major inputs done by entrepreneurs like Dr. Mohan Reddy and many others who have been responsible for the industrial growth. Then of course we have also seen the growth of information society. We have all seen, we have been a part of that. And today we are all part of the knowledge society. This is also seen that this is a major impact has been due to the science and technology. And how the thing has changed, that also if you like to recall, the first policy was done on science. It used to be called science policy. And it was by Professor Kothari, if I am not wrong. Then came another policy sometime in 80s. I think it was Yashpal or something, if I am not wrong. It was also called science policy. But when it came in 2000, it changed to science and technology policy. And when 2013, the Department of Science and Technology came, it changed from science technology to science technology and innovation policy. Successive speakers have always come to ultimately that point, that today is the era of science, technology and innovation. So when you talk of science, technology and innovation, this is one thing which is also evident from the fact what our great leaders have said. Our Lal Bahadur Shastri said, because 1962 war we had gone through 1965 war, coming from defense, certainly I would like to quote from that. He said, Jai Jawan. That was the time he said. And then he also said, Jai Kisan, because we had extreme food shortages in 50s and we were responsible for, through the science and technology, the Green Revolution, which led to reduction in the food shortages. So he said, Jai Kisan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. In 1998, when we did the nuclear explosion, Shakti Parikshan, our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji said, it is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. He realized the value of science and technology for the growth of the society, and he gave a major impetus. But we have not stopped there. The political leadership has been continuously urging that don't stop. It is only for the last many centuries you have seen that the science and technology is the one which has revolutionized the societies across the globe. India is no exception. What you see after 1947, the growth of India in its entirety in terms of infrastructure in any sector, whether it is education, health, research, development, science, technology, pharmaceuticals. Everywhere we have excelled: nuclear energy, space, defense. It is due to the major contributions by all of you sitting here, who are the generation which were born after independence or maybe just before independence. So it is a contribution of all of you which has brought India to this kind of a status, that our GDP, which when the Britishers left was less than 2%, has now gone to an average of 6 to 7%. This is the kind of transformation we have got. From a society which was hungry, which was having shortages, today we have plentiful of food and we are able to take it to all corners of our country. It's all because of the great effort which has been done. So now when you are going to write this, you have to, your new page, you have to look at what the present state, present political setup, present leadership is looking at. For that, you should recall the speech of our Honorable Prime Minister in the 2015 or 16 Science Congress, where he said that this is a time for us to take science not only for generation of knowledge, but we have to take science out of laboratories, translate it into products, bring it to market. And hence he gave the call for major emphasis on innovation. Although the innovation decade was announced in 2010, but it was in 2015 that the innovation was given the high pitch, and that pitch has been responsible for what you are seeing today. The jump of India in the Global Innovation Index from 81 in 2015, today we are 42. This is the kind of growth that has taken place. The science and technology ecosystem in the country has become science, technology and innovation ecosystem. Thanks to the entrepreneurs like Dr. Mohan Reddy and others who have been advocating, pushing it, working towards promoting innovation in all walks of life. The point which Dr. Murthy said, the point which Dr. Chandrasekhar said, if we are looking at innovation, it cannot be in isolation of how we educate our children. If we don't educate them for translation, if we don't educate them in terms of taking the knowledge to the market, then the innovation will never be able to. The importance of economy linked with the science and technology is what is the requirement. So far, and this is no criticism of all of us, because I am also part of your community, our focus has been more on generation of knowledge. And my appreciation of the knowledge was among the peers by publishing papers and then getting kudos from various societies, from various international bodies, that yes, wonderful work has been done by Indian scientists in different fields. But none of that knowledge got transformed into various products, various goods. And as a result, our dependence remained largely on the foreign technologies in every work. Unfortunately, it continues even today in many cases. And that's why our Prime Minister's call on Atmanirbharta has come. He says Atmanirbharta can come only if you are in a position to do innovation. If you innovate, you will become Atmanirbhar. And that's why during this Amrit Kal, the largest focus is going to be on two terms, Atmanirbharta and sustainability. I think Dr. Murthy again mentioned about sustainability, school of sustainability you mentioned, and Dr. Mohan Reddy talked of entrepreneurial skill. I think these are the two major elements which are going to make the difference. So if JNT is going to write the next page for the next 50 years, so that when we have the 100 years, or maybe even when we synchronize the next 25 years with the 100 years of India's independence, we should be able to look at whether we have kept pace in educating our children to that level where we would have seen them as entrepreneurs. As our Honorable Prime Minister says, we are not looking for job seekers, we are looking for job providers. So what you have to do today is to transform. And for that, I have only a couple of suggestions. While Government of India has come up with the new National Education Policy 2020, and those of you who have gone through the various features of the policy, it emphasizes on two parts: flexibility, multidisciplinarity, and larger focus on skill development. And a major point which has been brought out is to change the role of the teacher. The teacher cannot be a linear person teaching one-to-one students. It has to be student-centric, number one. Number two, it has to be a role which the teacher has to throw as a mentor, as a thought leader. And that is what Dr. Kalam also used to say, that the universities have to play a major role in the technology and the societal development. And the teachers in the universities have to become the thought leader, the leader in technology, for providing the kind of mentorship our generations needs. I think JNTU has to now look at it in that particular format. The next 50 years has to be a place, something similar to what is happening in IIT Hyderabad, where there is a mentorship, there is a tremendous amount of focus on innovation and research. I would like to say a few words as far as the research is concerned. We have done analysis in NITI Aayog on various institutions in the country where there is a significant amount of research output. How many of them are doing it and how many of them are able to translate their work into products? Number is not very good. But one of the most disturbing features which we saw was that the university research, I'm not taking the names of the IITs and IISERs and all that. I'm talking of universities, whether they are state universities or the central universities. The research quotient is poor. And that is one reason why we are extremely worried that unless we augment that research quotient, we will not be able to do the right thing. Many times we are told that the funds available for research in the universities are fairly poor, which does not allow them to increase to set up the right ecosystem, the infrastructure. But I think it's a two-way process. If you show excellence, I think people will come and invest. If Dr. Mohan Reddy can invest 20 crores rupees in setting up a school for entrepreneurship and innovation, that is because he sees that IIT has got the right ecosystem for doing that kind of thing. If we can show the same thing in JNTU, if we can show it in all the universities, I am sure private entrepreneurs will come, the philanthropists will come and make investment. Unfortunately, in India, the largest funding has been on the research front from the government of India. In all segments, whether they are educational institutions, the national laboratories or others. I think this has to change. If you really want to make this happen, there has to be a private industrial participation in augmenting the research capabilities in our universities. For that, the universities have to create the right ecosystem and the trajectory has to change. I'll give you an example. In fact, I was taking the PhD one student examination. I was an examiner. It's about 4 years old story. The student made a presentation. He showed me nice CFD, lot of analysis, curves, green, yellow, this, that and all that. And he has done some work on a gas turbine engine. So I asked him, did you design whatever blade or whatever rotor you have done, have you designed it? And if you have designed it, have you manufactured it? He said, no sir, I have got the CFD results, I find it's going to work. Then I asked him, whose CFD code you have used? Is it yours? No sir, it is Fluent. I said, that does not help you. Have you understood what is there in Fluent? No sir, I've got application notes. I use the application notes, I use Fluent. Now that is the most disturbing feature. He did not build that turbine rotor. He did not see whether it functions or not. So my thinking is that this trend has to change. If you cannot build it, you cannot sell it. If you want to sell a product, it cannot be only on the green and yellow colors on the computer screen. It has to be seen as part of a working model. And you will find that when you manufacture, it doesn't work. You have to go back to your drawing board, iterate and reiterate and all that. This is the kind of thing which requires to be changed. The trajectory change for the next 50 years is what I am recommending. I am recommending from computer to the field to testing, testing back to this. That is the kind of mentorship which the teachers have to provide here. I am quite certain that with the ecosystem of innovation which has been created in the country, Atal Innovation Mission, IDEX, Agni, and even the science and technology has a platform for innovation. Many industries are today coming up with the innovation platforms. The JNTU will also be able to create, I'm sure you are already having many incubation centers here, will you also be able to create a similar ecosystem in the country in the next 50, in your university, in the next 25 to 50 years, and will come out to be what Dr. Mohan Reddy said, the Czech Tech University of 300-year-old, we will say 100-year-old JNTU, which has got the ecosystem for technical education, innovation, and excellence in all fields of life. I wish you all the very best and congratulate you once again for the outstanding work done. Thank you very much.